Welcome to Talking Comics, where we are back, boarded, and pre-recorded. I'm Ryan.
I'm Sean.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. We have a lot to talk about today. We're almost, sort of, partially done with Batman, I swear.
We'll get there. We'll get there with the Batman v Superman.
Yeah. So we got a few shout-outs to give out.
Oh, yes. Guess what happened since last we spoke?
What?
I became a grandpa
Again?
Again.
How many grandkids is that now?
Well, there's two more on the way, so two. Two and two.
Right
Chuck
on.
Woolery, 2 and 2.
Congratulations.
Yes, little Liliana, little grandbaby daughter. 6 pounds, 20 ounces.
Right on.
Yeah, doing well. And she did like Trooper, apparently no anesthesia.
Wow.
She's tougher than I am.
I'd be like, give me all the drugs you can without hurting the baby.
That's just a normal day. And Ryan, that show, AOA, awesome.
It was? That's
Oh, yeah, like I said, I've known this guy for 30 plus years, and to actually see him for the first time, yeah, what a dick I am, man. I've been here almost a year, and that's the first time I saw him live. Blew my hair back though, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you very much. Check out AOA on their Facebook, and Reverb Nation. You can hear all their songs. That's
Alright. I suppose we'll get into it. Today we are covering a comic, some...
a hero.
There's no other way to describe him.
Yes.
And what...
A villain.
And what I guess we have to call, quote unquote, a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So starting off, I want to talk about We Are Robin, a relatively new comic series that's come out.
Yeah, I have not read that. I have not.
It's pretty cool. So a bunch of kids in Gotham have taken up the mantle of Robin. Robin's still around, of course, but they've trying to capture his symbol of what Robin means.
They turned him into an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of a symbol of hope, which he kind of always has been.
Yeah.
Like, Robin's always been what helps keep, like, Batman, he kind of humanizes him, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, his whole gesture, just him taking him from day one
Yeah.
is humanizing.
So it was a really cool comic, and it had, the art was a little weird, but I liked it nonetheless.
You did mention that. The artist, who was one of them?
One of the artists that supposed to have worked on this was a George Corona, who
Yeah.
get this, did some art for the Teen Titans Go comic.
Not well received. Not well received at all.
I'm not a fan of Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
That's a thing for another time. I could rant about that for a good 20 minutes.
Oh, there's been ranting coming today.
But it was really cool. So they're all they're all kind of recruited by this mysterious figure who finds them. One of the Robins. He was the all-star quarterback he's all-star quarterback at his high school, and the mystery man dresses up and says that he is a scouter for a college, and gets him into this Robin thing, and so on and so forth. And they use this, I can only really describe it as like a social networking type of thing.
Yeah. A quick question.
Yeah.
These kids now, since it's a relatively new book, the mysterious recruiter, we're not going to spoil, right?
Oh, I want to spoil it. It's
Yeah,
such a
everybody
good
wants to
spoiler.
Let me ask you the kids that he picks, is there any link? Is there trouble? Do they have anything in common?
Some of them were troubled kids who've gotten in trouble for fighting and stuff. One of the main characters is looking for his parents. I should also mention that this, for those who are in the know, is post Joker's Endgame.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So stuff in Gotham is a little bit different right now. The Joker went crazy as always and wrecked the city. Joker
What?
Joker toxined like a huge portion of the city. And one of the main characters of this comic is this kid named Duke Thomas, and he's trying to find his parents because they're still missing.
Oh, okay.
And that's how he gets recruited. Is the mystery man dresses like a police officer and arrests him after. Well, the kid was knocked unconscious. Some stuff went down. I'll gloss over that because it's all kind of pertinent to like the story.
So where is, for those who don't know, like the timeline? Like you pretty much put a light bulb on me as far as the timeline goes, so I know where's Batman at this point?
This is during where Gordon is Batman.
Okay.
So Bruce Wayne's kind of out of the picture right now, and it's such a cool comic. I can't wait to get the next like set of issues.
It's tough, isn't it, to try to go ahead
Yeah.
without spoiling
It's
anything.
really tough.
I want to tell the world.
But yeah, so like it's actually kind of cool, and you see the difference between Bruce Wayne as Batman and Gordon as Batman in this one scene where there's a big riot,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of Robins are trying to contain the riot, beat up the rioters, and stop them from wreaking havoc in the city. And Batman, Gordon shows up in the Batman heavy armor,
Yes.
drops down, and he says cease and desist. Oh, he's talking like a cop. He's not talking like Batman. And you're causing. I can't remember exactly what he said. But after him taking out a few of the rioters, he looks to the Robins and tells them to leave, or they'll be arrested by him.
Now, do they have masks and everything too?
Yeah, most of them are wearing masks or like a hoodie up
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that.
That's sweet. Yeah, sounds like an awesome story.
There was a really cool section in it where they did like old school dot art.
Yes. Yeah, you did show me that.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was done by I think his name is James Harvey.
Uh-huh.
I haven't really I looked the guy up afterwards and I was like, well, this is done that I might be interested in.
Yeah.
They're basically just like a gang that fights crime instead of causing crime.
So Guardian Angels type thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That's
They
sweet.
they get these they get these messages from what is called the Nest, which is kind of a play on the fact that they're all Robins.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nest, I'm assuming they never really explained it, but I'm assuming it's like a secure website of some sort that they're able to message each other through without other people that aren't in the group getting the messages, so that hey, I'm tracking this gun smuggler. What information do you have on him? And they'll post it to the board, and they'll have the other Robins be like, yeah, I saw this guy the other day doing this and that. It's really cool to see, so that it's a collaborative effort instead of just like one person taking on all of this. What's the word?
Well, yeah, just all this chaos on his
Yeah.
shoulders by himself.
The burden,
Yeah.
without having to take the burden on by yourself, and being able to rely on each other, which is kind of what Robin has always been, is someone for Batman to rely upon.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just really cool comic all around, and there's a lot of things you would not have expected that happen. It's really cool. I definitely recommend some people reading it. If you're into Robin, that is.
Yeah, oh, I know. My son is definitely into that. But, so he'll probably see there's this spoiler. There's so many spoilers on this.
Yeah.
I'm feigning ignorance on this book. I am the recruiter. I have the nest. I usually just give a bunch of these kids my grocery list. Go do this.
Another really cool thing about it, I want to say before we move on to the next topic, is it's like super multicultural. You know, kids from all different ethnicities and
Yeah.
you know backgrounds. They all have their own story that kind of gets brought up throughout the series.
That is just rife storytelling right there. You could go so many different directions. It's focused on because you said it's like a group thing, but then each one of them gets like a little bit of spotlight here and there as
Yeah.
far as the storytelling goes. Oh, come on.
Yeah, it was really cool. And as soon as Volume 2 of the trade comes out, I am buying that one too.
You burned through that in the
Yeah.
shop. I
Yeah.
remember that. I was like, what?
I read through the whole thing in like 3 hours, like just hanging out in the shop, and
Wish
I
I
was
could
taking
get-
it slow.
I wish I could get you volume 2, but it's not out yet.
You don't even have enough issues out for
I know.
Volume 2 yet. It's sad.
Alright. What else did you read?
I am currently in the middle of reading Batman and Robin Reborn. I haven't quite finished it yet, so I'll probably talk about that on another podcast.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
But it's a really cool story so far, and I definitely recommend that one too. It's a Grant Morrison title, and he's a great writer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What I was talking about before. At all the years, he put a whole new spin on Killing Joke for me. I mean,
Oh,
just
yeah.
to this day. That was just right before we did the last
Mm-hmm.
episode.
I remember.
What?
I remember like hearing the interview with him when they were asking him about the Killing Joke or
Oh
whatever.
my god, did you hear my head explode? What? Did you, I want to ask you, have you ever noticed in any of the books Batman's official birthday?
It's April 19th, isn't it?
February.
February 9th.
So,
I was like, that's today.
right? No. Yes, and, what was the other thing I wanted to, I don't know if I've asked you this before. What is your favorite Batmobile?
My favorite Batman.
Rendition of the Batmobile.
That's a really tough question. There's so many different like really cool Batmobiles. I every time I say Batmobile, I think of like those things that hang above babies' cribs.
Not the Batmobile. And they're real bats. Ominously hanging above a baby.
That kid won't have nightmares.
Is that alright? Here we come the Dark Avenger.
I'd probably say I like that kind of it's the longer one, and it's got the one fin in the back, kind of like
Like the Tim Burton one, the 89 one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that one.
That was the template for Bruce Timm one, the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one. My favorite though, George Barris, 1966.
Yeah, I remember you telling me. about
19,
that.
oh yeah, I'm always about that. Remember we were talking how the times have changed? You watch that Adam West Batman, the top's down, he's got a little siren, you know. No worries about like snipers or anything taking out Batman at all. Then you go to Nolan's, he's damn near driving a tank.
Yeah.
It's a sign of the times. Remember how about the first appearance in comics of the Batmobile?
I am not familiar with it.
He's like, John, I wasn't ready for a quiz.
I didn't study.
Issue number 30 of the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, what did it kind of look like? back
It
then?
was the one, remember it had the big bat, like almost like a metal shield on the front. And it was like
Oh,
the,
yeah.
what was it? Like it was just a regular car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a,
Like a Rolls Royce or something.
yeah, something like that with just a big bat shield on the front, like the face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to come together in my
Didn't
head
it
now.
have guns? I want to say it had guns.
Probably.
Which,
Back then, Batman was always packing.
I know, right? Like total against. I guess he just didn't find the writers didn't find their niche. Oh, should we do it then? Speaking of not finding their niche.
I don't know. I kind of want to put it off a little bit longer. I don't want to relive it.
Oh, your text. All right. Fine. We will. Let me discuss George Perez.
All right.
George Perez.
I don't think we could discuss a happier topic.
There you go. Let's get a little happiness in there. Probably heard the name, right, sir?
Oh, I'm familiar with Perez.
On and on and on and on. Especially, shut up, Sean. George Perez. No, George Perez, awesome. Probably one of my favorite writers, favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the list goes on and on. Avengers, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Teen Titans, Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
Inhumans. He created Wonder Man for the Avengers.
Right on.
He's the guy who did double duty. He worked for DC and Marvel. Like, he was doing Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
and he created Taskmaster.
Nice.
I mean, I'd throw that in there. That's a deep cut considering Civil War's coming out and Crossbones is, set to make an appearance, I hear. Taskmaster.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yes, kids, Google it. Taskmaster. Like on and on. I mean, let's see. He started. His first comic was, what was it? 73. Marvel Astonishing Tales number 25.
Mm-hmm.
That was his first one. Then he goes on and on. I mean, Avengers 141, Fantastic Four 156. This is in 76. And around, what was it, May of 80. That's when he started doing who does that?
Working on
I mean, a lot of, don't get me wrong, a lot of artists, I've worked for both, but
Yeah.
I mean, simultaneously,
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, Avengers.
You gotta really love what you're doing to work that much.
And
we appreciate it.
oh yeah, yeah. You keep, and see, that's the thing. This guy, he's right up there with guys like Neil Adams and Stan, and just tireless crusaders for this. He'll just go on and on, and he's just had, from what I read, he just had eye surgery.
Oh wow.
And he's had numerous surgeries because of diabetes and stuff like that. I mean, and he just always a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Never says no to I see him at conventions all the time, numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Always willing to sign something, draw something. He's got a website. You could go on there, give him a specific request, and he'll whip that out. And I mean, there's a small price for that, but
it's probably mostly just shipping costs.
yeah. You go see him at a convention and stuff. Oh, he's always there, shaking hands, smile, always a smile on his face.
Wearing a goofy shirt.
His wife makes him those shirts.
I love the shirts.
Oh,
I really
that's his
do.
trademark. That's his trademark right there. His wife makes him those shirts. And the awards this man has won. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let me just go here from where I'm doing the sheet area because I am.
Gotta check the cheat sheet.
I am because, and I can't even write it all down. Maybe that's where my hands are resting. My good lord, this man is just nonstop. Like, here we go. The laundry list. Yeah. I remember he told me one time that he does not have a favorite comic book character.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, he does a lot of group.
Yeah.
A lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers, Fantastic Four, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like, I always go back to that.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
That's the one, kids, where it changed. It changed the entire run of DC.
Yeah, that's a pretty big moment in DC comic history, and having been a huge part of that is really a testament to
his gift.
Yeah, it's a really.
Here we
He's
go.
really gifted.
Check this out. George Perez won 1979's Eagle Award. Okay, the Eagle Award is the Eagle Comics over in the UK.
Yeah.
They started that based off that. Continued story. He wanted for continued stories. He wanted, let's see, 79, 80, 81, 82.
Like 6 years in a row.
79, 80, yeah, then 86, then again in 2000.
Wow.
Ink Pot Award in 83, the Jack Kirby Award in 85 and 86, back to back.
Jeez.
And these are all for books like Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Of course, Crisis on Infinite Worlds. Wonder Woman. He did the Wonder Woman, won him an award. Batman 400 in 86.
Nice.
Oh, here's another one. How did I skip over this? Infinity Gauntlet. He did that story. He wanted
Oh,
to work
wow.
for that for best short series. The Infinity Gauntlet. They're going to do that in a movie. Can you
That's-
imagine part of what they do? They're going to show that on screen. His creation.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, that's kind of like. I mean, one of the reasons a lot of people get into, you know, creation is, you know, to have people appreciate, you know, their talent and, you know, bring enjoyment. And having a comic that you put so much, you know, blood, sweat, and tears into, and you created this magnificent masterpiece of yours, and to see it be so well appreciated throughout the year that they're even like, all right, this is the movie. We gotta put this on the screen. We need more people to see this. We need more people to experience this.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing.
Started out, in '73, to be more specific, Rich Butler,
Yeah.
guy who was doing Astonishing Tales for Marvel,
Mhm.
he started out his assistant. You know, just, he was like, oh, hey, kid can do it. And then the rest is history, pretty much.
You know, it's kind of funny, like how many times I've heard stories like that, like with Jim Lee as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Perez started out as an assistant. Jim Lee started out as a janitor.
And a janitor, I know, and again, another guy, you know, it's not even a job to them.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean,
It's
There's
their
life.
livelihood.
yeah, they're always smiling, always does stuff. Here's one in the midst of my research that this undiscovered gem. Whatever happened to the Man of Steel?
The Man of Steel.
Alan Moore, George
Oh.
Perez. My head just exploded.
We're gonna be wiping Sean's brains
Oh
off the
my
ground.
goodness, yes. Whatever happened to the Man of Steel? What is this number? I got it. Yeah, I'll be getting that in the store.
Yeah, I can only imagine like what kind of amazing story those two working together can make.
Yeah. Now, you haven't read it, right?
No, I haven't.
I remember hearing about it. I can't remember that. I don't know. It rang a bell, but then I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, what is this? You know, it's like you hear a song on the radio you haven't heard in years, and you're like, I know the words to this, and you're like, oh, maybe I forgot. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
George Perez. Anything with Perez on there, definitely the artwork.
Oh,
He
yeah.
drew a thing. I took my son one time to a convention, and he was there, and he drew something for his birthday. Just I was taking him for his birthday.
Oh,
and
yeah.
One of the days landed on his birthday.
That's
So he drew
awesome.
Awesome. Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, much like you, my son's a huge Nightwing Robin. I'm sure he'd probably be sitting here better with the real Robin than I would. He'd probably it's like, oh, you haven't read this, Dad?
Come on, Logan. Come on.
I know, right? But yeah, that's George Perez. I can't say enough nice things about him.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys, you know, just be in a room with him for 10 minutes and you're
Mhm.
like, oh, hello, new best friend. You know?
That's awesome.
Oh, sweet. You know what's not awesome though? I can't wait.
We can't put it off anymore, I guess.
We're taking the trip.
Yeah.
I mean, we get taking people back to a simpler time.
It was simpler, and it was also a darker time.
Oh. Whatever are we discussing? 1997, Joel Schumacher.
Batman and Robin.
Oh. What a horrendous. I haven't watched it again. It was on demand. I watched it again.
Yeah.
I bought it.
I watched it all. I watched it for the first time in years last night, and this morning or today when I was at work, I was trying to think about it, and I was like, I cannot for the life of me remember the last quarter of that movie. I think I just blacked out.
Yeah, it's horrendous. Horrendous. It's what I said before. It was the worst thing to happen to Batman since Thomas and Martha Wayne got shot in Crime Alley. Oh my God! And Joel Schumacher. I mean, we talked about, you know, Batman Forever.
Yeah.
It made money. Like it's like every other one. Like Tim Burton did too.
Mhm.
Schumacher did too. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one obviously made a gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
Second one, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Then they gave it over to Burton was a producer in name only.
Yeah.
Gave it to Schumacher. it brought it back up. It made tons of money.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because DeVito wasn't in it. That's all. And it's not like he didn't follow the formula that he did with the Batman Forever.
Yeah.
He's like, just what the fuck happened on this movie?
Yeah. The writing like seemed a little lazy.
Oh my god.
They were pulling out too many like assets from the previous movie, like banking on that people were gonna enjoy that.
And it's nothing against, nobody wakes up and plans on making a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Everything want it to do well.
Just, you can't bank on that people are going to use the same tired material, enjoy the same tired material.
Oh my god. And they're making the one-liners?
I invented a drinking game last night off the one-liners. Maybe that's why I blacked out. I was actually sober through the whole thing.
Oh, dude. Like my daughter giving birth. You're a trooper. But worse off, it's like, it was like nobody had any knowledge of source material. It seemed like a first draft of a movie that somehow made it on film.
Yeah.
And the one-liners were references that, it was aimed at kids, obviously.
Yeah.
These one-liners and the jokes and everything, no kid would understand what that is.
Yeah. When do I get a car? Chicks dig the car.
Oh, when you...
Shut up, Robin.
When you start the second movie from a joke from the last movie,
yeah,
it's like watching, you watched Avengers,
mm-hmm,
and then watch Avengers Age of Ultron. If they would have started it with, like,
Hulk
smashing Loki. Remember, look, I'm still doing it.
Puny God.
That's how you start your second... No.
And, man, there are so many things that are, like, we have, like, mentally lined up to, let's say, critique this movie.
No, I'm bashing it. That should be... Number one, the lowest earning Batman movie to date. Out of all of them, even the ones today, before and after.
When I was watching it, I was like, I could have swore this was an okay movie when I was a kid and watched it.
Everybody says that. I'm here to ruin it. Pull back the curtain for you. Dude, and not to mention the fact, it's also the lowest screen time that Batman or Bruce Wayne has.
Yeah.
In all the Batman movies. All of it. Now, what's the title of this movie?
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. I want my money back.
And they got such a great actor to play
all of
Batman.
Them. Okay, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Alicia Silverstone, Uma Thurman, Schwarzenegger. None of them. It was their fault. It's just this is what they got to work with. They don't scream comic fans. Number one.
Yeah.
They're just given what they do and do it the best. Uma Thurman, oh my god, Uma Thurman, thank God for Tarantino, man, because, dude, she was horrible.
I have a thing about Clooney that popped into my head.
So why?
my grandma was watching the news yesterday.
Okay.
I caught a bit of it while I was doing something in the kitchen. And Clooney's like a Hillary supporter or whatever. And we're glossing over, we don't talk about politics here, but this was just hilarious. Like one of the like Bernie supporters or whatever was like bashing Clooney, and he's like, and you sucked as Batman. Clooney's like, well, he had me there.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I actually really liked, other than the writing of the lines that he had to read, I liked Clooney as Batman.
Oh, I remember I told you this before. Can you imagine if they do a live-action Dark Knight Returns movie?
Yeah.
Jerry, here's my lineup. George Clooney is Batman now,
Mm-hmm.
because he's old enough.
Yeah.
Was he 60-something?
Something like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I liked him, yeah, so did I. He didn't wear glasses. He did rock a turtleneck, though, you notice that?
Yeah.
Frank Miller on set,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who wrote it. George Miller directs.
Yes.
Mad Max.
That would be awesome.
Fury Road.
Mhm.
Mad Max period. They also did Baby Pig in the City, but that's all. You just stop with Mad Max, you fat fuck. You gotta go Baby Pig in the City. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh my god. The opening of this movie, I should have been, like, in heaven. Two of my favorite things is hockey and Batman.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? And what's the first line you hear Schwarzenegger say?
Uh,
Kill the heroes!
Yeah.
Air is good for breathing.
That makes me think of when you and I went to see Batman v Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like, crime in Gotham, water, right?
I know, right? I was dying. Oh my god, you just watched that movie and he had a laser. There was a point, it looked like he was rocking a lightsaber. Batman. I should have loved it.
Yeah.
I hate it. You know? Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman, all she did was play basically the same beats as Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Except for one thing. She sounded like she was from the 1940s. Hello, boys!
Why do I have to talk like this to portray my evilness? And sound like a drag queen?
I'm here to defend the earth and plants. Hell, I'm Mother Nature.
Oh my, don't mess with Mother Nature. That's like a 70s commercial reference, you know, with a butter spread thing. Again, no one, it's basically Joel Schumacher doing the worst Batman on Ice Capades ever. I'm like, nothing can kill the Batman, nothing. Well, Schumacher found a way.
Oh man, there's so many. This thing wasn't really like a negative thing. It was just something that I like. I when I saw the scene, I was like, how did this work? So when Freeze is watching his old family videos of him and his wife.
Who's recording that?
Yeah. Who was holding the camera?
Yeah.
Because they were looking into a mirror. He didn't have a camera. She didn't have a camera.
That's why he's keeping it around. They were getting dressed up. They were going to go on a cuckold date. There's like numerous guys in there. I love you so much. You banged so many guys. It's just everybody's plan. Remember how we were talking in the last podcast? Like nobody has a plan.
Yeah.
This one, everybody had some sort of plan, but it was all by accident.
Yeah.
You know, like when she like turns into the it's goofy, and she's smashing the stuff and lighting the laboratory on fire, and she's poisoning everything. She holds up and sees the Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah.
Why? We're going to Gotham. Why?
What a coincidence.
I know, but why? You know, and like they just she happened to be there when Mr. Freeze crashed the party, and then all of a sudden they're together and they hate Batman. Why? It's just a matter of factly.
Lots of coincidences in this movie.
Oh my god, and it's always that same formula, that two villain formula. This time around, let's up the ante. Let's have three villains. Bane. They brought it. Oh god.
Oh,
How about that? How'd that treat you?
How do you ruin Bane?
I'll tell you what, though, again, just like I said last week, there's a lot of things I noticed that if you want to do the Chris Nolan Schumacher thing, Schumacher got there first. Did you see him fighting on the catwalk?
Yeah.
Oh. You fight like a young man. A young man with a credit card and nipples. You merely adopted the credit card. I have everything on layaway. Oh, right at the beginning. I know, the credit card. That's the one.
Yeah.
You saw it. The bad credit card.
I never leave home without it.
Why? That, like people can't trace that and be like, wow, where's the funding coming from? You know?
The whole movie's ridiculous. Like
They literally took us back full circle, like I said last week, to 66.
Like, you remember the scene? It was when they met Freeze for the first time, and you know, Batman's trying to duke it out with Freeze, and then Robin busts through on his motorcycle.
At the beginning?
Yeah. Did you notice what was going on in the background of
The perfect Robin symbol?
Yeah, how did he do that?
You know, what about the long tunnel at the very beginning? Again, they're taking beats off the first thing of the Val Kilmer one.
Mm-hmm.
Except this is more aimed at the kids.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, so many. I know people are listening like, okay, we get it, you dorks, you don't like the movie, but no. Go on. Aimed at kids, like, hey, look at this bat dick, look at the bird dick.
Although,
the longest tunnel in recorded history.
On the bat butt subject, there was one scene that I had no complaints on, and that was the introduction of Batgirl.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest. Schumacher wasn't really all into that scene. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Oh, yeah, you want to talk about her for a minute? And her lazy bottom lip? And why does she keep referring to him as uncle?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, I every time I say, hey, like my uncle Rick, whenever I'm like, I need to talk to him, I say, "Hey, Rick, can I
Yeah.
talk to you?" I don't go, "Hey, Uncle Rick,
Yeah.
Uncle Rick, I need to talk to you, Uncle Rick."
Remember how we were talking about last time? How like Batman was just the chemistry between him and Gordon. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Nobody seemed to give a shit about Alfred. He's dying. Nobody cares. And I did like there was one little nod almost towards the end. You know, they're freezing and everything, and then they put the oh God, when she all of a sudden starts whipping up and she's in the bat suit. First of all, why did she take the cowl off for her little Robin mask?
Yeah.
No. 'Cause she's a computer whiz all
Yeah.
of a sudden, you know, and they bomb the city, and
Mhm.
the Schumacher was really into this scene because it was basically this Gotham City getting a golden shower. And you know, and you think I'm telling jokes? No, because at the end, you watch the credits, you know who's singing the song at the end? R. Kelly. That's right, that's right.
Oh Lord.
How is she a computer whiz all of a sudden? Considering if you go back to the like her first introduction, they do that long thing. It took her how many tries to get Peg? And why does he have that? Why did he give that to her?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a screensaver or what?
they did reference that like she was in a advanced computer class in the school that she was going to, but they didn't really like elaborate much upon it.
Yeah. Dude, we're hopping all over this movie here, but
It's hard not to because
remember what earlier I did my research, did my homework, said that this is the least out of every Batman movie that you get to see Batman in.
yeah.
Okay? But you got that long motorcycle race thing.
Yeah.
That what was the point of that? They're not even in costume for one. Number two, that what was it? What was it? The one that tried to kill him during the race, Spike.
Yeah, something like
Okay,
that.
there's crime there. They tried to kill them, and yet when they get back, they don't suit up and go get him. They're just like, yeah, fuck him.
Shit happens.
There's nothing there. I mean, they started giving me the, you know, if you ever watch Clooney, he's like, bobs his head around when you watch him. When he's, in any movie, the dialogue, he's like a Batman bobblehead. And he's always cocking his head like a confused puppy. You know?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, speaking of confused puppy, how about Elle McPherson in that movie?
Elle McPherson.
That model? She was Bruce Wayne's girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
The one that, show me the satellites, Bruce. Oh. Dude, she was just like a robot.
Yeah.
A fucking Stepford wife. You know?
There's so many things wrong with this movie. Also, so when they were like, you know, when they first capture Freeze, did you notice what they were wheeling him into his cell in?
That was sweet, dude.
Okay.
I did.
It was a freaking refrigerator.
It was a refrigerator. It was a refrigerator.
50s refrigerator.
It's like they literally had to explain to everybody, oh, we don't get it, you know? And not for nothing, dude, but that when they first captured him, the fight scene that didn't happen, like it shows him like Batman coming through.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
And then it showed him like Freeze unconscious, and he's doing like, yeah, goodbye horses and signs, I vote me. He's all like spread over Freeze.
Yeah, other than the like.
Is he doing the tuck too?
The over dramatic wing spread, he could have just as easily just been like, whoosh, and just like
I want to see.
whooshed it out of the way.
If you're gonna have Batman and Mr. Freeze in a movie, I want to see Batman and Mr. Freeze fighting, punching him in the face, you know.
Yeah. Also, the whole movie, I was like, just punch him in the face. His face hole is the only hole on his like armor that is open. Just punch there.
Oh. And what's the scene too? You know, first of all, I want to know what Joel Schumacher's black light budget was on that. Yeah, he loves that black light, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And you remember at the beginning that Wayne? Okay, they got the lasers and he's got the rocket. Looks like the, you know, big giant symbolism going up into the sky. Schumacher. I know I'm picking on Schumacher, but and then they surf.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Stanley and Jack Ripper are like, we were there first. What are you doing? Okay, that nobody survives that.
Yeah.
Number one, I know suspend belief, whatever, but that was okay for him to do. But then when they're chasing Freeze, he's like, you can't make it. He cuts Robin's bike.
Yeah.
Why? It's like, wait, I can surf from space back then, but I can't make the jump.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
There's just this is the worst of the worst. And think about it, this movie would have, it had to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's either I mean, obviously it failed miserably, and there was
Mhm.
nothing to happen, and then the coming of the Chris Nolan
Yeah.
verse. But if this movie would have succeeded, there would have been a Batman Unchained.
Sounds awesome. In theory.
We got, at the time, I think they were talking Robin Williams as Mad Hatter and Jeff Goldblum as Scarecrow.
That would have been awesome. In theory.
In theory, yeah. I just, wow. Yeah, this movie.
There's, although there was one scene where, for like half a second, Batman seemed almost competent. And there's that scene where they're first introduced to Batgirl, and he like says whatever school she was going to. How'd you know? He finally used a little bit of detective skills and looked at the patch on her jacket.
Yeah, well, what you talk about when him and Robin were following them creepily?
Yeah.
She had seen her uncle were led to believe in like forever, and they're like, following.
We're just gonna hang out.
You know why? Look, Vicky Vale. Like, how many people does he invite? He's the worst butler.
Yeah, good point.
And he did it again. And he gave her schematics.
He even had a suit ready for her.
He did. Notice that too, huh? Notice that too.
This Alfred is like the worst enabler of them all. Too.
Oh my god. Can you imagine if you just, when he's laying there, when people would come in and see him? There's a lot of looking at Alfred, but not giving a shit. And he's all, give this to my brother. Oh, that's what it was. He was going to give it to his brother. Remember he reached under the pillow?
Oh, yeah.
Give this to my brother. Can you imagine? You know what made that movie better? If, like, she does, and he opens it up, it's just like a video of him talking to his wife. Give this to my brother. I'm out.
And the tape's credits roll, and he says, oh, also, Bruce Wayne needs a new butler.
Yeah. But your detective skills comment?
Yeah.
Really? When Batgirl shows up? Remember, she's like, it's me, Bruce, Barbara. Like, you couldn't figure that out?
Yeah. The movie's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it, and it's going to be an even longer time. Probably a week from never. I'm going to watch that again.
You're going to burn it, aren't you? Just throw it out, put some lighter.
No. I'm gonna keep. You know what was cool, though? There was one part that I noticed. Gossip Gertie, who got more screen time than almost Batman. You know what I'm talking about? That little... You know, she was married to Bob Kane. That's Bob Kane in real life.
Huh.
His widow.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. She was chewing up the scenery around Elle McPherson. Well, then again, people who weren't in the movie were chewing the scenery around Elle McPherson.
One thing I had a lot of problems with was Batman constantly making jokes.
Oh, yeah.
When Batman does make a joke, it is the driest that humor can possibly get. It's very dry. You almost don't even notice that it was supposed to be a joke until like 5 minutes later, and you're like, he was fucking with me.
Yep, exactly.
Like, Batman doesn't like make obvious jokes. Like, it's so stupid. I just...
Makes you look how badass Adam West was. Makes you appreciate that.
One other thing, like at the end of the movie, you know, when the credits rolled and the movie was over. No, just kidding. When he was given that speech to Mr. Freeze.
You talking about when he showed him the video that nobody recorded?
Yeah.
Streaming video of, and then they let him in. Who does that? Arkham Asylum?
I don't know.
And he's got the full suit on. He already escaped.
But no, after they defeat Freeze and just, you know, save the city, and Freeze is lying there all messed up and like.
Oh, and he's got the shit in his.
Yeah, and he's actually doing a very Batman-esque thing and trying to appeal to the humanity inside of Freeze.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool because it's probably because it was Clooney and that guy's just got a voice.
Yeah,
that you can listen to.
Clooney's awesome, man. You know who's not awesome? Is O'Donnell playing Robin like a bratty little unappreciative twink. That's the thing. I mean, in an already shitty, crappy movie,
Yeah.
how irritating was he in that?
He was always making this like
Why can't they get along? I know.
face, like
Yeah.
I'll put a still up because it's so ridiculous.
And, yeah, they did like Batman and Robin. It's like, dude, look, I don't need you. I'm going solo. Let me remind you, punk, that I'm the millionaire.
Yeah.
You have nothing, including parents.
When they're bidding over freaking Poison Ivy.
Oh my god, I know.
$2 million. You don't have that kind of cash. I'll borrow it from you.
Right? Yeah, they even said that, right? Yeah. Kids, don't take our word for it. Go watch the movie.
Yeah, you can probably like find it for $5.
Don't pay $5. I'll put it in. I'll do movie night at the shop and put that in.
You might lose some customers.
I might shut down. I'm going home early.
And like, what was with like Arkham Asylum keeping like the villain's old crap?
Oh, you're talking about the one little tie-in of continuity from the last movie?
Yeah.
They kept like Two-Faces and Riddler's Jack. They had dynamite on the top shelf. You notice that?
Yeah.
Dude, how did they get? But yeah, that's another thing. I didn't even think about that.
How did they get?
Two-Face died in
Yeah.
the last movie. What? Did he just take his jacket? Well, just in case he comes back. Why?
Yeah, and you know.
I mean, I get what they were doing, but like if they had like Catwoman's whip maybe in there or
Yeah.
chattering teeth, dude. Ah, with the Joker, that would have been awesome.
Like,
yeah, dude, they just threw shit in to throw shit in.
yeah, it's such like a mess of a movie.
Yeah.
The pacing felt off. Just everything was
It's
just
like,
off.
like I said, it's like a first draft that they filmed and then they cut it up, edited it, threw it up in the air and then just pasted. Here you go, there it is.
And I think one of my biggest gripes is the way that they did the villains in this. They were all so cliched, and they like ruined their origins. And like Bane is a genius. He has a high IQ, and he was actually able to figure out that Bruce Wayne was Batman all on his own.
Dude, he was pretty smart in this one. What? I bet I'm hard pressed to. Somebody could do that out there, or you could do it. Clip together scenes from that and Nolan's Bane. Dude, it's pretty. Schumacher got there first. Schumacher got there first.
Maybe I'll
I gotta say some positive stuff.
do that in my off time and just like put it on the channel.
So that's what I'm saying. Oh, that's right. They fought on a catwalk. There it is. And other little things like with the Black Light when they went to the bathhouse and Poison Ivy was taking over the your precious song already. He's like in a sewer, dude. They were in the sewer. He's wrecking shit. And here's another thing. Speaking of that, okay, she's sitting in that big. When Robin shows up, being a little bitch again, but he's got the wax lips on. She's sitting in that big. We're led to believe that thing she's laying in or sitting in is alive, right?
Yeah.
A giant Venus flytrap, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, explain to me this. And then Batgirl shows up, right? Like she kicks. And Robin's supposed to be like, probably one of the greatest fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Very a gymnast. All that stuff. And she gives him the boot right in the plants. Like, dude, you can't get out of the water. But the Batgirl shows up, and they do their fight thing, and everything. And she kicks Poison Ivy back in that flower, and she's like, "I'm mad at you." what happened there? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah.
The flower just like consumes her, and
she's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, it's like what?
That scene was hilarious to me. Because you could see that he had to force himself to like struggle in the water.
Yeah.
It was freaking ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's. I mean, we can just go on and on and on about everything. There's nothing good about this film.
But
Coolio was in it. He fired a gun for the normal bike race that went nowhere and meant nothing. Can you imagine though? You shot that gun up in the air. So, this is not a fantastic voyage, kids. That bullet goes up, comes back down. People coming out of a movie theater. Boom. Another Batman.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was in '97. Okay, that's
Yeah.
before Matrix. Do that. That's let's see, 97,000. That is 8 years removed before we get Nolan,
Wow.
who pumped life. It's
Yeah.
like after all the goofy stuff that
Yeah.
you heard, and the one-liners and the jokes, like you were saying with the Batman and everything.
Mhm.
There's like 2005.
None of that on my set.
It's like talk about taking it seriously and being
Yeah.
earnest with the character. You know, it's like it was like a gritty crime drama, and the main cop just happened to wear a cape and cowl. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, that movie. Oh yeah. What do you think of that? You like the Nolan verse?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. He really did an amazing job.
I can find some. I mean, oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love
Yeah.
it too.
There's always something you can find that's wrong with the
I just
movie.
don't like the two villain thing. And now I'm saying that but you have like cool characters like Scarecrow.
Yeah.
He was like almost a sidekick to
Yeah.
Raj Al Ghul. Oh, I love that first one was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He really set the bar high.
I mean, little things you get a little goofy, I guess, with the swinging around with the train towards the end and everything.
Mhm.
But I loved it, man.
Yeah, as a whole, it was really good.
Gordon finally
Oh, yeah.
he did. Chris Nolan did that right.
Yes, thank you for that, Chris Nolan. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Getting the
Because,
Gordon relationship.
I mean, in the last movie, Gordon got demoted to a mall cop or something.
He did. It's like he's on the screen. He's like, "Wait, commissioner, huh?" It's like, "Why is he in blues?"
I really...
Mall security guard.
I think-
And
It was really great to see, like, an actual, like, partnership form between Batman and Gordon.
the
for
way it's
once.
supposed to be.
Yeah, not just like Gordon clinging to Batman's cape, like, I'm part of the team too!
Yeah. Fuck off.
Well, wait, hold on. No sirens this time. Gordon's happy that we're talking good about him
He's
again.
like, it has nothing to do with you two idiots. It's Chris Nolan. You guys are just sitting around talking shit.
Yeah, the Nolan films are like the bright light at the end of the tunnel for all these movies that we've been talking about lately.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're definitely gonna have to like I've said it before. We're gonna rig this up and you and I record like a commentary for these movies.
Yeah.
Definitely like to do something with some the Nolan ones.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll get more into that. You know,
Yeah.
that'll be for another show though.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. We still got a lot of stuff like in the future that we're planning on doing here that are still, some are just ideas, some are things we're just putting off until we, have a few more episodes under our belt.
That's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
What's your agenda? Bishop of Battle. Prince of the Pod. I am kind of your Gordon to your Batman. At least I like to think so. Not Tim Burton. Gordon. Don't even acknowledge me. Oh yeah, that stiff neck.
Yeah.
Remember that fight scene? You were talking about the fight scene with Bane and Clooney
Yeah.
in the last one? Did you see? Why is he laying there and Poison Ivy just comes up? It was just laying there. He's a looker a lot. Like, scenes where he's like, oh fuck, I thought you guys were done with this. Freeze is like shooting things. Batman just like stares and watches. It's like a voyeur. You know, it's trapped in this neck thing. He's a lot of looking at Alfred, a lot of looking at just everybody.
He's observing.
Yeah. He's hardly in the movie. What are you doing? I'm looking. So all I'm doing is looking and cocking my head. Looking all confused. Oh, I haven't been in the movie long enough. I have no idea what's going on.
Like, why am I wearing a cape?
Yeah. Like the Incredibles. No capes.
Oh man.
Well, that's pretty much all I got for this time.
Yeah, I think next week we'll bust out the Nolan films as a whole.
Yeah.
Uh,
People listening are like, oh, we didn't see that coming.
and then we should be about...
We've given people plenty
Yeah.
enough time. We could almost spoil
Yeah.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go see it, because it is almost Batman v Superman time on Talking Comics. So get ready, because it's coming.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah. And there is going to be spoilers. That is why we have waited so long.
Yeah. We're talking about this movie. Like, we talked about this movie, jump all around. Nobody really cares about this one.
Yeah, this is just filler for our channel.
When you got the two guys who are talking about it, go, ah, talk about this movie.
Alrighty, so I think that's about it for today's podcast, I guess.
Excellent.
Alrighty. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and we will see you next time, I guess.
Have a day.
Alrighty.